Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Oh my God, I forgot to do something. Un momento, por favor. Let me mute this. All right, here goes. Here goes. Let me go ahead and put this over here. So, for those of you who aren't aware, I live stream across quite a few platforms simultaneously, which is what I'm doing right now. So, I had to set that up. So, I asked what this conversation was going to be about. What I heard is attracting your abundance. Mm-hmm. You're attracting your abundance. Ooh. Oh, this might be a setup. it might, I don't know, it might be a setup. I suddenly get the sense that you're attracting more than just your abundance. Ain't that something? Let's see. Yeah, you're bringing it to you right off the bat. This card fell out. So you're bringing something to you. What it is you're bringing to you, we're about to find out. Okay, let's see what's about to happen. There's a lot of different things that are pushing forward certain types of events, certain types of processes, and your energy is calibrating into a space of magnetic attraction. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You're drawing something, and quite possibly for some of you, you're drawing someone or multiple someones towards you. And I hesitate to assume that this is something romantical. I don't know that it is. I don't know that it's not. I don't know that it is. So for some, it might be something romantic. It might carry with it romantic under and overtones. For others of you, this is strictly like opportunity, connection, so that you can further accomplish something. Okay, let's get started. Oh, what am I doing? Let's go ahead and see. Oh, shit. Why? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, you're being reminded of something. Okay. You remind me of a girl that I once knew. Anyways, someone's obsessed. Like obsessed. So this could be someone that, I have hat hair. I just got home from the gym. Let me just cover up my hat hair. Anyways, this could be someone who I don't know. It's almost like they made a decision to kind of just leave you alone, stop checking in. Oh, this has been going on for some time. It's been going on for some time. I don't know what y'all are up to, but this, whatever this is, has been something that's been going on for some length of time. And it's like drawn together, pulled apart, drawn together, pulled apart, drawn together, pulled apart. Oh, did I put the title on the screen? I don't know if my social media person took it off the screen or if I didn't put it on. I'll just put it on real quick. Attracting your abundance, okay? We're attracting our abundance right now. So I don't know. I don't remember. So this is like, I don't know. I don't get the sense that you guys have been in a relationship. Okay. So I need a moment to compose myself because let me just. Oh, I knew this was a setup. Oh, you did? Okay. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay. I just drank down my, I don't know. this this is gonna pop off. Okay. Just so if you guys are gonna be easily triggered by different types of connections and um failed connections from your history, this is going to trigger you. Nervous laughter. Someone had you had walked away or they had walked away. There was a walking away that was had, right? I'm assuming this was some time ago. And so whoever walked away just walked in a circle because they right back exactly where they started. Something was just reinitiated today. And I'm assuming their attraction to you, it might not upset you, but it's really frustrating them because they don't understand why they can't just walk away and stay away. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Why don't you know? I don't know. They're really just frustrated and flusterated by the fact that you've completely circled back around in their own process, in their thoughts. And now it's like this hyper fixation. I'm sorry. This subject matter. It just makes me giggle, giggle. um, they're over there trying to find a way to observe. Look at this dude right here. Look at this dude trying to observe. I don't know that they have. Well, for some of you, this is potentially someone that has some depth of connectivity to you. This is if that is the person, if that's who this is for you, someone with a depth of connectivity, like a soul-based connection, they're not a stalker, right? Because I've come across stalkers over the course of my life. Mhm. Y'all, what is up with today? Can y'all feel my pheromones just wafting to you? Just breathe it in. No, don't. I was joking. I wasn't joking about my pheromones, but I was joking about breathing it in. Don't, ew, stop. But there's something there is a magnetism that's occurring and you're drawing all kind of stuff to you. So because of that, you're drawing that person back to you if you have someone like that in your history. My assumption, um, I'm going to take off one of my pair of socks just so my tootsies can breathe just a little bit. My feet are not sweaty. I don't get sweaty feet, but just maybe the additional circulation through my toes will help with my meridians being flushed clear of this foolery, whatever it is. Okay. They thought they thought that they could play with you the way they play with everyone else. They were wrong. They were wrong. They were severely wrong about all of that. And Nyaya says they must have walked away from a Piscean. Uh-huh. Shit. This is someone who already has within them the capacity, the existing characteristic of hyperfixation. They thought that they could play with a Piscean. They're not afraid of drowning. It's probably another water sign. They're not afraid of drowning. So literally, this is another water sign. They have water somewhere in their chart. So they weren't afraid of drowning because they saw your depth. They were drawn to your depth. They didn't realize, though, that there's something else in your chart that makes you extremely formidable. They effed around and they found out. Too bad. Too bad. It's a too bad. Too bad. So now, I don't know that you're angry. I don't know that you hate them. I don't feel that. This is something you were just like, okay, whatever, and you walked away. They walked away, you walked away, you left it wherever it was. And then now, whatever that was, it's being brought forward again because there's something in this. It's a cycle. Obviously, it's a cycle. It's not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time. All of this has cycled back and forth, back and forth. It's like a Pisces vesica. It's like a Pisces vesica where at some point your paths cross over and over and over. And so whatever this is, it's building. It is building the very foundation from which you are going to welcome your abundance. Whatever this is, it has to happen. I don't want you guys to assume that what I'm saying is you have to enter into some type of Michael says, don't vomit the words out. Okay. You don't have to enter into some type of romantic union with this person. You simply have to allow whatever these events are to take place. You have to. Because again, the person that I'm referencing right now is not someone that is toxic to you. This is not someone who has been stalking you. It's not to say you don't have stalkers. I have like such a disdain for stalker ass people. I do. Vomit. Fucking gross. I don't like people like that. I don't. I've had more than my fair share. I don't know, something about my pheromones. I don't know what it is. Fuck stalkers. That's all I got to say. So, for others of you, it might be both people. You might have two people that's in this message. The other person is, in fact, a fucking stalker. Basura. Just fucking hiss at him. Fucking nasty. The other person is a stalker, disrespectful, very much trying to dominate, very much just like, hide your wife, hide your kids. That type, right? Like, oh no, don't let them anywhere near you. Just like, I don't be projectile sputum at people. I don't do that. This, you just make it very clear. I will never allow you in my life. You got to make it very clear. You need to know the difference between these two people. Don't confuse one for the other. Because Lord, Lord. Oof, nasty. This is just nasty. Nothing attractive whatsoever. Oof. Just, ooh. I dislike people like that. I do, with a vengeance. with a vengeance. I dislike people like that. Make sure you know the difference between the two. So, one is a stalker, absolute garbage. Yeah, whatever. Pray that Jesus takes them back. Remove them. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, the blood of the Christ. Rebuke. The other one, you kind of just got to let that percolate and do whatever it's going to do. I don't know. For some of you, it's like y'all need to be friends again or something. At the very least, conversation. I don't know. For others of you, um, I don't know. For others of you, it might be a thing of y'all need to. For others of you, they're like really in love with you. Oh, that's none of my business. Hmm? Thank you for the super chat, Janet. No, I'm serious. For others of you, I don't know. I don't know. Something might need to happen between the two of you. They're massively in love with you. If you're available and they've never gone out of their way to hurt you, I, you know, I don't see anything wrong with seeing where that goes romantically, but I don't know. I don't know. You have to make those decisions yourself. I don't like to do romantic readings just because it's like, oh, people could they get all confused and discombobulated and take things too far. And I'm just like, I never told you to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. But you have to know the difference between the garbage stalker and the soul connection, because there's a very huge difference between the two. The stalker will try and convince you that it's a soul connection. The soul connection will kind of just be on the fringes. You can feel them, but they never try and intrude upon your space. They never try and disrespect your sovereign free will. They kind of just are always orbiting around you on the outskirts, existing, wallowing in their sadness and internalized destruction over the fact that they allowed you to walk away. Oh, that's tragic. That's very tragic. Anyways, so don't allow the stalker anywhere near you. Just don't. No, I'm done with that stalker topic. Like, gross. Ill. So for some of you, part of the abundance, the reason whoever this is, the good person, the healthy soul connection, part of the reason they're kind of their existence is being brought back into your awareness is because the pathway you need to take to truly bring your abundance back in, it involves their presence. They're going to trigger some type of growth in you. I'm remaining in control. I am. You see how chill I am? Michael goes, breathe, hold it in, rein it back, breathe. I'm in control. There's something parasitic that's going to cause you to assume that this soul connection type individual is coming forward to disrupt your life. Nay, nay, that is not it. For and again, for some of you, this person is really deeply massively in love with you. They're in love with you. Like, they're not they're not infatuated, they're not curious. They're not just trying to kind of like explore a friendship with you. They are wholeheartedly, their entire fucking brain is involved. It's been marinated in your pheromones and they are in love with you. I don't know what to say. Hopefully you're available. I mean, I don't know. This is complex because if you're not available, I don't want you to think that I'm telling you to completely toss out your relationship and explore something else. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, like, because some of you are going to be like, well, why do they keep coming around? Like, what do they want? Because they're fucking in love with you. Have they ever reached out? That's what I'm curious about. What's this notification? Let's see. Let's see. Uh-huh. Celestial ocean. That's it's celestial ocean of love. Every drop in that celestial ocean is a lifetime of loving you. This soul connection is a very intense one. I don't know that you're destined to be in a romantic partnership with this individual. That's something you have to choose. First and foremost, you need to be available. Don't be that hoe. Sorry. I'm serious. I'm serious. Don't be that. Don't be that. Don't entertain that. Now, if you're available, by all means, girl, pursue whatever you want to pursue. That's none of my business. I'm saying that's none of my business. But if you're not available, stop. Just like get off this video. Don't give yourself any ideas. Just get off this video, okay? Okay. All right. Things are about to intensify. Whoever this is, whatever this is for you, it's about to intensify. And maybe that's why this individual is coming up in the reading. Maybe their presence somehow triggers you, and triggering is not necessarily a bad thing. It brings you back to a point within your existence where your chemical composition, your hormones, your energetic patterning is exactly what it was during that period. And maybe that period is a period of abundance where things were coming in easily. I mean, if that's what this person can do for you and you're not available, why can't you just be besties? I'd be like, what's up, bestie? Which crypto should I invest in today? Sell, buy? I don't know. Tell me, bestie. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we need to be open to different potentialities that this could mean in our lives. Let me tell you, and I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know everything. I don't know how this message is supposed to be received by you. So you need to be very careful about how you interpret whatever stuff is coming out of my mouth. You got to be very careful. You have to. Okay. So you have a toxic individual. I just throw that one away. Throw that away. Throw it away. Basura, basura. Okay. And then you have another person. I don't know that you've been in a relationship with either one of these. I don't know that you have. It's just the other person, they've been in your proximity, like in and out of your proximity for quite some time, just orbiting you. I think at some points you orbit them as well. I think they've been coming into your thoughts. I'm calling shit out, aren't I? Who have you been thinking about? Because I'm fucking nosy. Who have you been thinking about? Is there someone popping up as of the last few days? Oh, watch out now. I think because whatever has happened, whatever in the history of the person who is not toxic towards you, you guys have been very cold towards each other. Maybe necessarily so. Maybe it's been something that's been necessary because of whatever your circumstance is. Maybe you're not available. Maybe they're not available. Maybe neither of you are available. Maybe feelings got hurt because of the fact that the alignment was not present the previous time that your paths crossed. I really don't know. I just know whoever this is, there is such an intense soul-based connection that both your souls continue to bring this person, circle them back around, just do the cabbage patch, stirring the pot for both of you, without actually having you face to face, just stirring and stirring and stirring, because that proximity triggers amplified, expanded potential in both your fields. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. It increases your power. It does. It increases your power, which increases your potentiality. It elevates, expands, and accelerates. So this is making it possible for a whole bunch of different things to potentially happen for you, but you have to be willing to allow it. Because if you don't, it's just going to be the same old for you. Allowing it does not necessarily mean they have to be an active part of your life. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you need to have a conversation or that you will have a conversation. Soul works on the level of energy. It doesn't just work on the level of in real life experience. A lot of the times, why our manifestation attempts don't come to full fruition is because we mistakenly confuse and confuddle in real life human experience and perception with soul-based events. Years ago, I've come across quite a few different types of people in my life. This was before I was publicly visible. A dear friend of mine, haven't been in touch in a very long time, but I still consider them a very dear friend, old dear friend of mine. Without them telling me anything, I came into a space of awareness that they, in fact, are a reincarnated shard of Yeshua. I found two of them. They're both alien AF. Alien AF, like straight. It's very obvious they incarnated by filtering through Pleiades. They tall AF, skinny AF, look alien AF. And both of them, they didn't announce this to me. I came into the awareness myself and I was like, are you aware? And both are like, and I'm like, okay, as long as you know, because I know and you know. So that's all. I just wanted to know. Well, one of them was flying to the Big Island in Hawaii. They were flying to the Big Island, and there was the elders of the island. This was years ago. The elders of the island, the Big Island, were telling some of the people, I believe it was the elders, they were telling some of the people that they would see Jesus in the sky at a certain time. This was what they're prophesizing, that they would see Jesus the Christ, Yeshua Emmanuel, in the sky at a certain time. Well, wouldn't you know, my one friend who I identified on my own terms without their input, my one friend was actually in an airplane and they were preparing to descend. They were in the sky over the Big Island at that specific time. And people thought like, oh, see, they're full of caca. There was no Jesus in the sky. How are we going to see Jesus in the sky? You have to understand there is a separation between actual spiritual experience and the human experience. If you confuse the two, your perception of what's happening is going to be heavily affected. So there's a spiritual thing going on right now that your soul is bringing in the necessary components that will help you to further attract your abundance. Okay. Michael says now's the time to stop dancing around the topic. This is a twin flame. No, it's a twin ray thing. It is. It's a twin ray reading for that portion. The reason that individual is, and y'all, let me give you a little bit of a disclaimer. There's a 99.99999% likelihood the person that you're like, oh my God, you're talking about my twin. No, babe, that's someone that you just really like. That's not your twin. There's an extremely high likelihood that is not your twin that you were in a relationship with. That's why I'm saying I don't sense that you guys were in some type of romantic relationship. This is someone that circles back around, circles out, circles in, circles out, circles in, circles out. And it's been happening for a very long time. So the reason why Michael is telling me to stop dancing around that subject, because I didn't want to say that, because then people are going to think certain things. And this is what this unity card is all about. I already knew the moment that fell out. I knew what you were doing, Michael. I knew what you were doing. Anyways, the reason you guys need to know this is because it further explains on a metaphysical morphogenetic level why this person needs to come into proximity with you. They're circling around and orbiting, and their orbit around you is an ellipse. Ellipse. I don't fucking know. Meaning it's not a circle, it's a flattened oval. And you're not at the center, you're kind of off to the side. I need to draw this. Okay. Dum 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 dum. So this circle is you, right? Right there. You. Ooh, the detail geek. I am a detail geek. I like the details. And this is their orbit. Their orbit. Okay. So this is you. This is their elliptical orbit. So your paths kind of cross at some point, right? Right. Because before that, what happened was that you guys had your own little lives that intersected, the Pisces Vesica thing. And then we're going to disregard that now. Once they became aware that you actually exist, their life formed an elliptical orbit around you. So you guys didn't go into union, right? You didn't go into union. So then what happened? Feelings got hurt and they went as far away from you as possible. And then they circled back around. See that? When they circle back around and they reach this point of their elliptical orbit around you, they go real close and they become hyperfixated with you again, right? Or you become hyperfixated with them. So it's this thing, right? And what's happening is, this, because of the timeline shifting and collapsing, that orbit is now coming closer to you. It's being shoved, right? They still think they have a say in what's happening, and you're in your little Delulu land, which I love Delulu land. I love it there. It's rent free. I love Delulu land. I like staying there. But here's the thing. With all the things that are happening, look at how everything is popping off on social media. Event here, event there, event there, event there. All kind of craziness, right? Craziness. What's happening? It's forcing an ascension cycle. It's a forced ascension mechanic. When you go through a forced ascension mechanic or any type of ascension cycle, what happens? Your field expands. So take a look at this. Bada bing, bada boom. That was you. This is you expanding your field because now you're in a forced ascension mechanic, right? You're a control freak. I am too. Don't worry about it. So now you're like focused, like, I'm going to grow. I'm going to heal. I'm just focused on me, which is beautiful. That's fine. But they're orbiting faster and faster and faster, bringing proximity closer and closer and closer. At some point, your fields will touch at this narrow area. Once the fields touch, convergence happens? What happens when you enter into convergence? See, remembrance in reverse. You don't remember this, but I do. What happens when twins come into convergence? Well, the truth of twin pairs is that they're coworkers. They're not actually romantic partners. They're coworkers. And when twins come into convergence, that means they come into a space, a temporary space of totality. Their energies come together. It comes together and it becomes a unified field. When that unified field takes place, what ends up happening? All pathways dilate, full dilation. And then your electromagnetic energy, they're electric, you're magnetic. There is a navigator and a power pack. That's how it has always existed. Whoever is the power pack, they're generating a massive charge. This is why they are so hyper fixated on you. They are hyper fixated because they need to do what they promised they would do. They don't remember what they promised they would do. You don't remember what they promised you. But whoever is the navigator, you are now being positioned to call in. That's why you're the magnetic one, right? They're going to exponentially expand your magnetism and you will draw to you. You will naturally attract to you every single thing, component, person, connection, opportunity, and circumstance that is necessary to bring your abundance all the way back home to you. Bring it all the way back home to you. There's a very important portion of the collective ascension mechanic that's being forced through, right? This is something that for those that this will be happening for, you need to kind of just chill. You can't force this. You can't rush this. Reaching out to whoever this is for you is really not going to ensure that it happens. They might even shut down. They might shut down if you reach out to them. And part of the reason why they might shut down is because they're emo. I'm not joking. You got them all in their feels about they don't know what's happening in their life. They just know you keep popping up in their head. And then there you are in Delulu land. I'm in Delulu land too. Maybe we should carpool. Have lunch in Delulu land. I don't know. But reaching out to them is not going to ensure that this happens for you. You cannot control or force any of this. There are those of us who are being fast-tracked, and those who are being fast-tracked, this is going to happen very soon. For others, this is not fast-tracked. This is going to take some time. It might happen more towards end of summer, maybe fall time of this year. So it's going to take quite a few months. In order for this to happen, you don't necessarily have to even have a conversation. It's just naturally going to happen, right? It's just naturally going to happen, and don't interfere with it. Don't force it. Don't push it away. Don't be afraid. You know, what if they are parasitically breached? If you have a twin that's parasitically breached, you're both breached. It's your twin, right? I'm talking about on a twin ray level. The difference between a twin ray and a twin flame, which everyone identifies with, oh, this is my twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. So a twin flame is basically, and you can have multiple twin flames. That type of soul connection is like that of fraternal twins. Fraternal twins, they share the womb at the same time, right? They are in the womb at the same time, but they have their own amniotic sacs. They're still separate. Twin rays are identical twins. They share the same sac. They come from the same genetic material. It's just they were spliced into two. So If there's some type of infection in the uterus, you're both infected. You're both infected. That's that. That's that. And if it's a twin ray, you're abso-fucking-lutely both infected to the same degree. The same degree. Yeah. And they still have their sovereign free will, so you can't exactly try and force them to be clear of whatever parasitic circumstance is happening. Yeah. They're free to decide things for themselves. You both are. All right, moving along. Ooh. So there's a lot of interference that's going to be attempted. Makes sense to me. So shock of the new. I think for some of you, you haven't realized that you have the capacity for telepathic communication. Some of you probably already have, to like a low degree of awareness, which that's still huge. For everyone that's going to be going through this, your capacity for being a receiver is going to go way up. So you can expect to experience this if you're one of them. You can expect to experience this as like random thoughts suddenly popping in your head, random emotions, random type things that you can't quite explain. But it's them. They're thinking this. This is their experience, and it's bleeding over into your awareness. If it's something that is if it's an experience that's upsetting to you, just push it away. It's not yours. I mean, to me, it's simple. Just, it's yours. Take it back. Thank you for making me aware you're going through something, but it's not mine. I will not take ownership of it. If you need help, let me know, and then we'll figure out how I can help. But I'm not going to own it or hold it for you, because doing that is not going to help them. It's not. And some people who are not aware what's happening, they'll begin to think you're demonic. It's something that is, it can trigger spiritual psychosis, to be honest. So yeah, be careful. Be careful. Okay. If you have the capacity to be a transmitter, or if you have the capacity to be a transceiver, you can transmit and receive, that's awesome. That will really help to facilitate things, because then it could be a thing of you become aware that they are going through something. You might not know the details, but your awareness that they're going through something. And this is part of the way soul will trigger you to dilate those pathways. You can then project the thought of, you are safe, you are held. This is simply an experience. Thank you for sharing this with me and allowing the benefits of your experience to amplify my own personal potentiality. I appreciate you. I appreciate your decision to allow yourself to experience this hardship for the benefit of both of us. You are held in safety. And should you ever need to reach out, should you ever need that confirmation, that support, simply reach out to me in real life and I will provide you that, not in a fake way, but out of gratitude for what you are choosing to allow yourself to experience that will benefit both of us. And there's no like message that needs to be sent. True twin connections, it's something that you don't have to communicate on a earth-based level, not even a human-based level where you need to like email, you need to text, you need to, I don't know what y'all do. I don't talk to people. So whatever y'all do, you don't necessarily need to do that. You don't, right? So this is the process that's being initiated. And as this process is initiated, then you begin to like generate a charge. So for those of you who this information deeply applies to. I want you, everyone, to close your eyes if it's safe to do so and just breathe. If this applies to you, you're going to start to feel a sensation. And it's not because I'm forcing it. I'm not even sending any type of energy. I'm just bringing your attention to it. If you start to feel some type of sensation, please do put in the comments what you're feeling. Let's see exactly what's happening here. Go ahead and share if you're feeling some type of something. And it's okay if you're not. I know everyone is going to want this experience. Everyone's going to want this type of potential, this depth of connection. You want this message to apply to you. I'm telling you right now, the intensity of the experience, if this applies to you, it is catastrophic. So just, just don't try and force it. So on TikTok, tingles all over, third eye pressure, peace, tingling, warm and tingly, pain in the back of the neck. Hands are hot and sweating on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's your awareness that connectivity is being reestablished. So for those who want to have further confirmation, if you're already experiencing something and you want further confirmation, I'm simply going to intensify your focus on what's happening. And for those of you who are sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a rising, increasing intensification of this sensation of like that, rising up and amplifying, and then pressure at the very top of the head. I'm not doing any energy work. I'm simply allowing for your awareness to increase. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're entering into an orbit that is the part of the elliptical path that's closer to you, and your field is now expanding further, bridging this gap even more. That is nothing but your awareness of their existence. You might not even know who this is. It's not an X. It is not an X. It's not. So this card, focus on the light, but it's in reverse. Whatever's happening, whatever's taking place, this would be the equivalent of the dark side of the moon. This is very much in shadow. The things that happen between true twin type connections, it's always obscured. It's always in the shadows. It's always part of shadow work. It's never allowed to occur in the light for others to witness. It's always out there. Why? Because true twins, true twin connections are highly cloaked, almost always concealed, and something that is heavily, heavily protected. Heavily protected. What's the likelihood of me ever publicly identifying any of my twins? Slim to none. Slim to none. Why? I will always protect and defend them. I've found several. No, I'm not in any type of romantic anything with any of them. I'm married. I'm married. It's 26 years at this point. I'm not interested in any side anything. Yeah. I will never reveal their identity. No. No. Mm-mm. Never. Never, 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 never. Right? You see all these people, like, oh, so and so's my twin. This one's my twin, my twin, my twin, my twin. That's not a twin connection. I have come across maybe like a handful, maybe a little bit more twins that are actually in a romantic union. Yeah, they never publicly say it. They don't. They're like, oh, yeah, whatever. Hmm. Yeah, I've come across twin connections where they're married and they've been married for a very long time. I've come across twin connections and they're siblings. Could you imagine? Oh, twin union this, twin union that, divine union, divine union, divine. You want to marry your sibling? Like your blood sibling. Okay, that's cute. Not really, but twin connections are not designed to always be a romantic union. The twins that are in a romantic union, a divine union, those are twins that have been struggling to learn specific lessons. And so they've been smashed together into a combined life through romantic connection. Because then you're forced, you're constantly triggered. You're always together. You're constantly triggered. That's to force you to learn, force you to expand your awareness, and finally learn the things that you refuse to learn. Ain't that some shit? All my twins are extremely intelligent. All of them. I have never come across a twin that is fucking idiotic. I've come across quite a few people who are, and I'm intentionally being offensive because I dislike these people. I've come across quite a few people who are idiotic as fuck and have been trying for years to convince me we are twins. No, the fuck we're not, because I'm not an idiot. I don't force people to do anything. And you're trying to force me to believe what you're saying, which does not resonate with me at all. Someone's obsessed with you and trying to convince you you're supposed to be together because you're twins. Why are you running away from me? Babe, that's not a twin, that's a predator. That is a spiritual predator. That is a manipulation tactic. That is legit fuckboy starter pack, Amazon Primed overnight, 4 a.m. delivery. Not even joking. Not even joking. They read something and they're like, ooh, this is how I'm going to ensnare the empaths. It's all a lie. It is all a lie. All of it. That's a lie. So be careful with that, okay? Be careful with the people who are trying to force you to believe that you will not amount to anything and you will not accomplish anything unless you are in divine union with them. Those are lion ass demon horitas. You know what a who rider is? Someone who do whatever the fuck they want to do. They don't give a damn about the consequence, how it affects you. A demon who rider. They probably infested. Anyone who tries to force you into agreement with their point of view, their stance, that's some demonic behavior. That is textbook demon modus operandi. How do I know this? My job is an exorcist. Yeah. And no, I'm not one of those social media influencers who tries to claim that, they're demon slayers and they're removing demons and this and that. First off, I own the trademark parasitic extraction, which is a scientific explanation of exorcism. Secondly, I'm the type of exorcist that churches contact. I've assisted church clergy to remove demonic things. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about with this subject matter. And no, not everything can be removed. Most things can, but not everything, because some people will hold on to that demonic thing. You got to be careful, because those are the people who have the highest tendency to try and dominate you, to try and force you to believe what they say is the truth. My personal experience, there was this person who was claiming idiota, I'm telling you, this person was trying to claim that they are Jesus the Christ and they can say whatever they want now, trying to, deny it. No, they were claiming they are Jesus the Christ and I am Mary Magdalene, which that's not, I never said I was. They even changed my whole ass name to Maria. And they began stalking me. They began trying to geolocate me. When they realized that I was not no, I'm not engaging any of that. That's just some fuck shit right there. That's hell fucking no. They then began threatening to unalive me, my family, members of my congregation. Yep. So, oh, and they started off like soft spoken and sweet and like, oh, look at you, poor you. Y'all, don't believe any of that. Don't believe any of that. Don't be so hell bent on experiencing what this reading is about as part of the first group that you're trying to force it. Because if you're going to try and force this, you will find people who will play along. It will not be the real thing. It will absolutely be a demon horita. It will be someone who is breached and trying to dominate and siphon energy from you. People who try and force interaction are siphoning energy from you. For those of you who've known me for some time, even just the last several months, there was this content creator with what kind of seems like a considerable following. And they were trying to force engagement between myself, my community, them and their community. And I told all of y'all, don't engage that. No, you don't got to stand up for me. You know the person that I am. You know who I am. You know what I'm about. Don't engage any of that, to the point where that individual was taunting like, look, her community is not even rushing in to stand up for her. They were trying to siphon your energy. They were trying to siphon my energy. No, succubus, fuck you in your attempts. You don't get shit from me. You don't get shit from me except the legal notice. That's it. That's all you get. So be careful, okay? This is a period where all of our souls, assuming you have one, I'm sorry, is this not going to apply to organic portals because y'all are phase locked, okay? Y'all are phase locked, so it's not going to apply to you. But those who are not organic portals, your phase lock is being dissolved. And so the potentiality that you're being placed in is allowing for extreme abundance in all its forms to come home to you. Be the hunter, not the hunted. That means you need to allow this in. Whatever this experience is, it's going to be different for all of us. It's going to be very different for all of us. So don't be so committed to a specific type of experience, a specific expectation. Just be open to observing how this plays out. I think that would be the most powerful thing in allowing your abundance to come through. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. So this is something beyond human comprehension. This is something beyond human experience, human expectation. Just let it flow, okay? Softly, softly, the tender touch. So there's going to be someone who's going to try and present themselves as whoever the twin thing soul connection is. Before that real individual enters into a closer proximity, demonic things always try and beat the real thing to the punch, meaning they will try and send some type of Trojan to convince you that this is the person, when whatever this is parasitic. They're a Trojan. They're trying to harvest the energy before the real thing comes along. You got to be very careful about that. Okay? You got to be very, very careful about that. Case in point, that content creator who was trying so hard to start shit and initiate like a community war or whatever. I'm just like, you're fucking tripping. How fucking old are you? Still acting like this, right? So then it's a thing of, apparently they've been aware that I've existed for quite a few months. So bothered by the fact that me, a complete stranger who had no idea they existed, exists. What was my personal assessment of that circumstance? Well, my personal assessment was that whatever parasitic thing was involved in that, it was trying to beat me to the punch, meaning try and destroy me and restrict my reach before anyone else could see me existing. Why? Because just like I explained, try to beat the real thing to the punch. What's that matter to me? It doesn't. I just continue doing my work, stay in my lane, do my work, and everything will unfold in the way it's meant to unfold at the time it's meant to unfold. Do I know what that is? No. Do I need to know? Nope. But Emmy, you need to know. No, because I know the way I function. If I know, because I don't want to be publicly visible, I will fight it. I will sabotage it without even realizing I'm doing that. See, softly, softly, the tender touch. Recognizing the way you function within this, knowing that when you become aware of your own proclivity to self-sabotage, your soul will intentionally leave your awareness out of the loop. I accept that. At this point, I accept that. Just because you're left out of the loop does not mean you are allowed to re-enter into this collaborative dreaming state where you're trying to number yourself among those who have no idea what's happening, yet they want to believe that they know everything. Just flow with your journey. Okay. There's far too many people who are like that in the spiritual communities on social media. And I tell you right now, if that's how you want to roll, that's up to you. But when you do that, it further complicates and compounds your struggles to learn about your true power and purpose. You're not my competition. I'm not your competition. I would love for you to know these things. But because I identify myself as a sovereign, I must then identify you as a sovereign and always respect what you decide for yourself in regards to how you will learn. You notice I don't tell anyone to stay away from anyone else. I tell you, okay, use discernment because I'm noticing some weirdness. But if you're drawn to that, I mean, you need to experience something with them. I don't know what. Hopefully you stay safe, but I'm not going to tell you stay away. It's not my place to rob you of your lessons and opportunity to learn. That's demonic behavior. Like, listen to me. I want to save you. I want to protect you. I want to protect you too, but not from your own process. How do I do that? Well, just because I never tell you what to do and who to stay away from, who to go to, doesn't mean that there is not ridiculous amounts of recorded evidence of me actually protecting you while I'm live streaming and you're sharing my space. Y'all have seen that many times already. Many times we're like, oh, fuck your ass up. not you guys, but someone trying to access people in my live stream. You guys have seen that over and over and over. I'm not ashamed. I don't hesitate. I don't feel guilty. It's like, that's what you get. Don't fuck with anyone that shares space with me. I'm responsible for this space I'm sharing, right? So that's how you can tell the difference between someone siphoning, harvesting your energy, trying to control you, trying to keep you covertly in a space of disempowerment while verbally articulating, I love you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you safe. So you got to stay away from these people and that people and oh, this and that. No, flow with your journey. You can't prevent everything. When you obviously can feel there's something wrong, obviously stay away from that. That's your soul letting you know, baby boo, you're not supposed to experience this. Okay, I believe you, soul. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm going to avoid, but I believe you. Right? This period, you're going to draw a lot of things to you. Yep. Yep. All right. So it makes sense to me. Yes. I like this a lot, actually. So you're bringing into formation the very thing that needs to exist first and foremost, so that you can have the space to house the type of energy that's needed to bring all of this abundance into full fruition. You're going to have a lot of things coming into full fruition. And I will say this, I'm suddenly becoming or being made aware that there are those who were quietly watching, and they do quietly watch on TikTok in order to report back to certain people. It's this thing of, I'm referring to everyone that's tried this shit on me. What? You think I'm scared? I'm speaking truth. And if your master can't handle the truth, that's their fucking problem. I will continue to exist exactly as I am, speaking truth, exactly as I have, even in the years before you realized I existed and that my existence threatens your bullshit. Hold on. There was something that I wrote. And I wrote this not in response to anything, but I wrote this because it was part of my poetry, but it totally applies here. I was going through my stuff. Where is it? I don't remember the exact words. Sometimes Sometimes I write poetry. And this poetry was part of the caption of something I posted on Instagram, I think like 3, maybe 4 years ago. I don't know where it is. Oh, here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this to myself and put it on the screen so you guys can screenshot it if you'd like, because this is something that I hope you take in and embody as your own truth. You were given a voice for a reason. Use it. I refuse to be quiet until my soul is done speaking. I refuse to be quiet until my soul is done speaking. And that's that. That's that. So the formation that's taking place, it's an energetic repository that's being created, formed by your soul. For some, the formation requires adversity. For others, this, you've already had enough adversity. Your soul knows this, and your soul is like, we have everything, all the components we need. We're just going to build it. Should let your soul build it. It's not a big deal. And for others, it's just a lot of distortion in the field. So it's going to be a complex type of circumstance that you are needing to go through in order for you to be able to sift through everything in an appropriate manner. So as the formation is allowed to take form, you need to make sure everything you go through, you keep it in context, right? For some, this level of adversity, because some of you will experience quite a bit of adversity. For some, this level of adversity will feel like the world is trying to destroy you. You will feel very forsaken. You will feel like Job sitting with all his sores. Job from the Bible, he was like super ridiculously, devoutly in love with God. Had so much gratitude and had so much abundance and just a beautiful existence. And then it's kind of like all of that was taken away just to test whether he truly loved God. And everything, he lost everything. And then he was made to be very, very sick. And just his whole life went to caca. And at no point did he forsake God. At no point did he blame God. He just continued to the best of his ability. You're going to need to make sure you embody some of Job's resolve, right? You need to keep in context why all of these things are happening, whatever it is you're going through, not pretending it's okay. We're not trying to lie to ourselves about how we feel regarding the experience we're having. What we need to do is say, you know, this really fucking sucks, but I realize this is the process to prepare me for the greatness and abundance that is coming to me already. Keeping things in context. It's very important to keep things in context because you will not be able to revise anything. If you allow yourself to backslide into that space of just absolute negativity, entitlement, lack of gratitude, it's okay to experience these negative, dense emotions for a moment. Like sometimes I'll just get really fucking mad and cry because I'm so fucking mad because some of the shit that happens to me is just really unfair. Like, what the fuck did I do? Nothing. Okay. All right. I already let myself feel mad. I cried about it. Take a deep breath in. Girl, what's really happening right now? This is part of my ascension cycle. Okay, I'm being shown in such a way how strong I am because I can't deny I'm strong. If I'm going through this hardship and I'm still like, I just want to be a good person. I just want to help people. Just soul, tell me what I need to do to go through this, to get through this, to navigate through this. Guide me. Remind me how sure-footed I am. And when I do that, when I enter into that mindset, it becomes a thing of like, I get what I ask for. My soul guides me, helps me to come to an understanding that's necessary so that I can remain compliant. And when I do that at the end of the process, the exponential expansion of that potential is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So I've been cyberbullied several times. Like, you can fucking cyberbully me. Anyways, so I've been cyberbullied several times, several cycles of that. And I remember one of those cycles of cyberbullying. I had a considerable reach on Facebook. I didn't really make it a point to increase my following. I'm pretty sure that would have been exponentially increased had I made that my focus, but I just wanted to be present. So that was my only platform that I was using. This was years ago. My reach was over 500,000. Organic reach, no ads. So I know that I can do things that are difficult for some people very easily and naturally. It comes naturally for me. So with that, when a cycle of cyberbullying occurred and I was just like, you know what, I fucking had it, keep the whole platform. Just, I know this is a process that I'm in, and I know you're just being used as a tool by my soul. Keep the whole fucking platform. I'm just going to move somewhere else. I did not make any announcements. There was no like, hey guys, I'm switching platforms. Follow me on yada yada. I just disappeared. I just disappeared. Like overnight, I disappeared. No one knew where I went. I went to YouTube. I did. I went to YouTube. And then I don't know, it was weird. It was weird because again, I never really made it a point to increase my following. I'm not run by numbers like that. So, what happened when I switched to YouTube? I mean, my business should have failed. My business is solely social media based. I don't run ads anywhere. It should have failed. You know what happened? Within something like, I don't know, 36 hours, I had over 12,000 subs on YouTube. No one knew who I was. And by the end of that week, I had, I think it was like 19,000 subs. YouTube's done quite a job on removing subs and silently banning me and all of that shit. Yeah. I'm on a shadow ban. I've been on a shadow ban for quite a few years at this point. When you allow yourself to just flow, my soul said, hey, leave Facebook. Fuck that shit. I said, okay, I'll dump that shit. I don't care. See, the most important thing that happened was not that I was able to generate that amount of subs with no one knowing who I am. Most important thing that happened, I don't want to be emo, but it makes me emo. I didn't care that that amount of traction took place. I look back and all I really truly focus on, I felt so alone. And in that space of feeling forsaken, an entire fucking community formed around me. And this community were a bunch of strangers who in time I began to realize were in fact not strangers to my heart or my soul. They are my soul family. I will never be alone again. That's what I needed to learn during such a difficult time. That there was nothing I had to give for these people to love me like I'm family, to support me, to protect me. I never had that. I never had that. And you know, that was a prolonged process. It was. It was a prolonged process because about a year or so later, I love you, Firefly. About a year or so later, I slipped back into my natural mental space, my comfort zone of thinking people are just being nice to me because they feel sorry for me. And, you know, they're seeing like really fucked up shit happening left and right in my life. And they're just like, this poor girl, we feel really sorry for her. It's a pity party. Except it wasn't. And in order for me to learn that, another really fucked up thing had to happen. And you'd think that I would have entered into a space of like, life sucks, but it doesn't. It's in the hardship, the adversity, and the struggle that you learn the most about yourself and the people who you allow to be in your life. You know what I learned in that? Because in that part, that really difficult part of my life, not only had my mother died, not only had my aunt, her sister, my mother's sister, who was my second mother, she also died. And my brother was dying. And it happened in such a way where it just blindsided me. Right? And instead of like, life sucks, something powerful is happening. I don't know what it is. Something powerful is happening. And you know what it was? I was put in a position where I needed to come up with ridiculous amounts of money in order to be able to support my brother's end of life care, because I took responsibility for that. I took ownership of it. He entered into end stage heart failure abruptly. He never had a heart condition. He needed a heart transplant. He needed to be on a constant IV drip. The insurance was not covering that IV bag. I think each bag was something like $700, and he needed 3 of them a week, and I needed to pay for that. And so for the first time in my life, I made it publicly known that I needed help. That's an insecurity of mine. I'm hyper independent. Why? Because I don't want to give anyone the opportunity to remind me of how unworthy of help and love that I am. Working through it. And this circumstance that I'm sharing with you was a major, major way for soul to help push me through that. Because the only way I was going to be able to afford to keep my brother alive was through a GoFundMe. That was hard. That's hard. My options. Do the thing that scares me the most. Enter into a publicly visible space of vulnerability, letting people know I am extremely vulnerable right now and I need help. Giving them what I perceived as power over me. Yeah. Or stay in a space of ego and let my brother die. Watch him die. His prognosis was 3 days to 3 weeks of life left. He needed a heart transplant. Those were my 2 options. And thank God I'm a martyr, because I'd rather suffer in that space of begging people to help me and hurt in that way than allow him to die without me doing everything I possibly can. That's hard. That's hard. Those were hard choices, but I knew this was something that was meant to grow me. You know what happened? Something I didn't expect. That was the start of COVID. Everyone was unsure how things were going to play out. Businesses were shutting down. People were losing their jobs. Even with all of that uncertainty. My community and my brother's community, because he loves just like I do. We are very similar. My community and his community came together, and y'all helped us raise something like $20,000 in 2 or 3 days. And he had the same reaction I did. That's too much. We need to give that back because that's too much. People are going through their own thing. And I had to remind him, this is all the love you put into the world, being gifted right back to you. For him, that was the lesson. For me, I learned that and something else. This community that formed around me, because I was strictly on YouTube at that point, this community that formed around me was not lying when they said they love me. Because before I told my brother how much we were able to raise, I had the same thought he did before he even knew. I had it privately and I cried. And I spoke to my husband about it. And my husband said, don't you dare give that money back because that is not yours. They did not give it to you. They gave it to you to help your brother. That's not for you to give back like it belongs to you. And I couldn't understand. I struggled to accept. I struggled to receive. And then I understood. I understood only after my husband explained to me. That I had no idea how many people I've helped and the ways in which I have helped them. And they know that I will never ask for help again. And so this is their only chance to show me their gratitude for being who I am. It took me a while to process that and understand, because in my head, it's like, no. I didn't help to make you feel obligated. I didn't help you to make you feel like you're now indebted to me. I helped you because you needed help, and I was able to. And of course, that made me feel even worse for a moment, because it's like, oh my God, am I making people feel like they owe me because they don't owe me? And then my husband had to step in again and remind me. Actually, more than remind me, he had to clarify for me. And that's why they love you. That's why they want to help you, because they know you help them just to help and they don't owe you anything. That's why they love you. We go through really difficult things to help us understand not just people's place in our life and how they truly see us, how they regard us, the ways in which they hold us, either elevated, embraced, or suppressed in the dirt. We also learn about ourselves, about our strength, about the ways in which our energy, our effort, our concern is received by the people in our environment. This period of difficulty, it can be the most profound period of growth, exponential elevation and expansion of your potentiality. It just depends on you. What are you going to make of this period? Because this period absolutely has the capacity and the intention to specialize you, to cultivate certain aspects of your character in such a way that will cause you to become specialized for the very divine purpose you were born into this life to fulfill. And that divine purpose can be, I don't know, sharpening pencils. It can be saying hello to people or smiling at strangers and positively impacting their life. It doesn't have to be this grand gesture. It doesn't have to be messianic in nature. It can simply be you existing as you are. All the work that I do, people think that it's this huge, like, oh my God, oh my God. It's just me being me, though. Like, this is how I've always been. This is how I am with strangers who have no idea about any of this Emmy stuff online. This is just who I am. It's not a big deal to me because this is literally all I know. This is what I'm specialized for, to simply exist as I am. Do you see how that works? Once I gave myself permission to embrace the specialty that I've been given of just being my most authentic self, and in that authentic existence, I have abilities that most people do not. Okay. Just like some people can bake the bomb ass cookies and other people cannot. Like, okay, we all have our specialty. All you have to do is be you. The moment I allowed myself to be me, it began to bring large deliveries of my abundance home to me. The first massive delivery of abundance, the community that now forever lives in my heart. Y'all are stuck with me. Sorry. Y'all are stuck being loved by me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. Right? And other deliveries have come over the years. Embrace of self, embrace of purpose, allowing more of me to be witnessed. I mean, this is a process that you're in. It's not like this major load of something like, oh, $1 million is going to be delivered to you by next month if you do this. Anyone telling you that is full of shit. They're full of shit. You're never going to receive that $1 million when you never even allow yourself to receive even a kind word from other people. How many of you are hearing what I'm saying right now and thinking this is so beautiful for whoever it's for? Shut the fuck up. It's for you. I'm talking to you. To you. In this space that you are occupying right now, there is only me and you. Who else am I talking to? I don't allow anyone's energies to commingle. I am talking to you. It takes time for you to give yourself more permission, to allow yourself to receive more. You're not being selfish. You know, I'm looking at Anyaya over there and I remember, not to call you out, but to call you out. Other people need it more than me. Stop it. Stop it. Whatever arrives for you is for you. And I'm speaking to everyone. Whatever arrives for you is for you. Stop with this distorted mindset of other people need this more than me. I can manage. It's okay. I'll get the next round. No, you won't. Because the next round, you'll do the same thing. You'll say the same thing and you'll give it away again. Listen, this is what my soul had to tell me. And I'm now operating under the influence of my soul, right? Influence. My soul told me that it is the most selfish destructive thing when I do that, when I participate in that mindset of other people need this more than me, keeping myself in a space of depletion and detriment, intentionally choosing that for myself, and then masking it so no one knows, right? Soul told me, Soul yelled at me actually. Soul reminded me that I am one of the most biggest givers. I just am. That's naturally how I am. That's my mother's influence on me. She's such a giver as well. And I learned that and took it into my core. I'm a giver. I've always been a giver. I will always be a giver. Yes. And Soul sat me down one day and had some very harsh words. I was sobbing because they were very harsh words. Soul had Michael be the megaphone. And Michael said, "Who the fuck do you think you are, little girl?" Why are you speaking to me this way? Because my soul had enough. I was homeless in my RV with my children and my husband, living in a parking lot, giving everything away. When I'm autistic, so I always speak in literal terms. I'm autistic. I'm literally autistic. Not self-diagnosed. I'm diagnosed as autistic. So, yeah, I was giving everything away. Everything. And at that time, I was very good at masking. So no one really knew what was happening. They just thought that I was living this bougie lifestyle. I don't know why. It didn't look bougie. They just probably thought I was like some crunchy granola, free spirited mama living on the road, RV life, you know? They all knew I was in my RV. And it really was this thing of a realization that in my giving everything away, I couldn't complete what needed to be completed. I should have had a sanctuary built already. I should have. A sanctuary where we grow food from the land, people learn about true energy work, they learn about true medicine, true health, whole being wellness, coming together as a community, and then using what we grow to create either produce or tangible goods that can then be sold at market to help local communities, allowing some of the surplus of the things we grow to be made into wholesome baked goods that are completely devoid of any chemicals or any of that, and getting certified with the welfare companies, getting certified with the government in order for people who are on welfare and food stamps to be able to use their benefits to purchase the food. And all of that money does not go to me, it goes to our church. For those who don't know me, you're not familiar with me, I'm actually the senior pastor of a church that I formed. We teach the original teachings of Jesus, the Nazarene Essene teachings that tie into Gnosticism. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a social media public figure. I'm not a content creator. Soul has me on social media because I emit a frequency from my throat anytime I speak, whether it's profound words or me talking shit, fucking around. I emit that frequency. It sends a pulse wave through all social media devices. And those who are ready to change their life, they stumble upon me. Does that mean I'm going to save you? No. That means I'm going to allow you to witness me existing in my most authentic state, which will then liberate you to choose whether or not you want to live in your authenticity at this point. I have no interest in being anything outside of a mom who happens to be online. Yeah. Me just existing. I'm not in competition with anyone. I don't even look at other people's content. If it doesn't just pop up on my FYP, probably not going to see it. And I just be like mindless scrolling sometimes. Yeah. It's okay for you to just be you. As a matter of fact, that's what your soul wants. That's your purpose, to just be you. And for some of us, we have no gratitude for who we are. We don't appreciate who we are. We're not thankful for the person we are. That was programmed into you. That was programmed into you. That self-abnegation program was programmed in childhood. I have never come across an empath who doesn't have some degree of intensity of that self-abnegation program. What does self-abnegation mean? Let's go ahead and define that. Renunciation of your own interests in the favor of the interests of others. The act or habit of not allowing yourself to have what you like or want, often so that other people can have it. Self-denial, self-sacrifice. Forbearing to gratify oneself or advance one's interests. Lack of consideration for oneself. It sounds like what's taught in social media armchair psychology. It sounds like what is hammered into you in religions and what is now being hammered into you in spiritual circles. I'm not a spiritualist. Before y'all start to try and lump me in there, they tried to reject me and I'm not even part of their group. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, she's such a wicked spiritualist. Spiritual what? I'm a mom. I'm not a spiritualist. Stop it. Yeah. Just be you. Want what you want. Honor your needs. That's the first steps of allowing your abundance in. And if you think you shouldn't have abundance because this and that, and it makes you somehow evolved, and that's bullshit. You made promises to people you don't even know exist yet. Those promises involve you receiving what needs to be received in order to facilitate what you promised to do for them. You're fucking up. I'm talking to you like older sister auntie right now. You're fucking up. You're fucking up denying all of that because you need that in order to do what you promised you would do. They're waiting for you. They're waiting. Sometimes it involves money, sometimes it doesn't. All the time, you have no idea what it involves until after the fact. Until after the fact. And I call myself out too, because I'm absolutely here speaking as a hypocrite. I don't want to be publicly visible if you all want to hear the truth. I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. And sometimes my soul will show me things that serve as a reminder. I'm going to show you guys something. It's a glitch. Everyone can calm down. It's just a glitch, but the glitch is the reminder. It's the reminder from my soul. Oh my gosh. Okay. This glitch is my soul reminding me. Sometimes I'm on board. Sometimes I fight it. Once I reach a certain point, I kind of cap myself off and I don't want to go any further. And I'm working on it. I need to work harder. I know that, soul. Soul says work harder. This gives me anxiety. Gives me anxiety because it's like, I don't know, maybe if you could just remove my face from the internet, can't I just be a voice? And soul says, no. You have to exist in the way you were designed to exist. So here, look, this was a glitch. My toddler saw this when he went onto my channel on his iPad. I couldn't understand why my kid kept saying, my mommy's a big deal. My mommy's a big deal to random ass strangers. I'm like, stop. That's weird. That's weird. Please don't do that. I didn't tell him it's weird to his face. I felt it in my head and my heart. That's fucking weird. I said, please don't do that. Right? Just, So here, this is a glitch because at the time, my sub count on YouTube was hidden. Except YouTube was saying I had 9.39 million subs. I don't know why. I didn't have no 9.39 million. And then another point, I don't know where that screenshot is anymore. My kid saw that I had something like 23, 27 million subs. And I was like, nope, sorry, baby. Not at all. Nowhere near that. Not at all. But yeah. What would I say to 9.39 million people? That's heavy. That's a heavy load. Having an awareness that I could have some type of effect on that many people, that's like a lot of responsibility. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I misunderstand the message? What if I'm having a bad day and I negatively impact all those people? Like, why would you entrust that many people? I'm like, I mean, in my head, at that time, I have no education. I dropped out of college. I have no certificates in anything. I was already publicly doing the work that I do, except I don't have any certificates in anything. Like, technically, I'm uneducated. And soul never asked me to be educated in the traditional sense. That's never diminished my worth. Soul never asked me to be a highly decorated member of society with all of these certificates and letters after my name. Soul simply asked me to show up and be myself. And that's what I've done. And as I've done that, soul has made sure to give me the reassurance that has been necessary for me to continue in the development of my specialization. I'm halfway through 12,000 documented clients. That does not include the people I help privately in messengers when I was in messengers. That doesn't include the people that I've done free scans and free energy work for. These are documented sessions. I'm halfway through to 13,000 people. This documentation began in 2017. Do you understand? This is my everyday. I don't work every day. I simply just am. And because of the way that I am, every day I do this through the whole day. You don't have to be anything outside of who you are. I went to urgent care with my husband, and I was speaking with a doctor, and I gave my input about the circumstance we went for. And the doctor turns to me, he goes, "Oh, you're medical? You're a doctor too?" No. I'm a mom. No. I just, the information's online. Medically inclined. I have to say, I was doing all of the lower level schoolwork to then enter into a medical program. And in my heart, as a child, I wanted to be a cardiothoracic surgeon with a secondary specialty in neurosurgery. And I also wanted to be an ER doc just to keep on my toes. Like, do I need to explain? These are what makes me me. All I have to do is be me because of the purpose I'm here to live. It goes hand in hand. I've always been a nerd when it comes to medical stuff. Like, that's my shit right there. It's just like, tell me more. Tell me more. That's just me being me. That is me being me. And all you need to do is be you. Be you. Do that shadow work. Enter into that space where you can allow yourself to see what exists in your shadow. I tell you this, people, especially my eyes were wide fucking opened to this from all that TikTok bullshit a couple months back. This whole like, hella dramatic. She's so dark. Her eyes are so dark. My eyes are fucking black. Leave me alone. They've always been this dark. Kindly shut the fuck up. And it's like, ooh, she's like, she harnesses shadow. So afraid of darkness, right? Good. Stay afraid to those people. Stay afraid so you'll be stuck in that space of limited existence and allow that fear to keep you steering far clear from me, because I don't want any of your bullshit near me. I don't fucking care. Steer clear. Be scared. But here's the thing. The most powerful parts of you, your ability, the most profound, most powerful gifts that you have, it's hidden in your shadow. Those people, they're so scared of like, ooh, darkness, it's scary, scary. You'll forever be weak. Stay there. You'll never retrieve your power, and your disempowerment will forever be fueled and sustained by your fear. Perfect. I can't do anything to help you anyway, so stay there. Stay there. I'm only interested in interacting with the people who are ready to make decisions for themselves and empower themselves and allow that process to be the very thing that calls their abundance home to them. That's all I'm interested in. And no, I'm not interested in that so you can buy sessions. Like, all of these things can happen without any sessions. It's all about what you choose and the way you allow those choices to further refine your perception and perspective of yourself. Yeah, I just said that. Sessions can help if the session is appropriate for the circumstance at hand. But is it necessary? No. I'm always honest with people. If you purchase a session that's not appropriate for you, I will tell you what session is. You don't have to pay extra unless it's something that is like um far more expensive than what you purchased, but I will not do it just because that's what you paid for. I will let you know, like, you don't need this. Yes. So here's the thing. You allow yourself to enter into this space that you're already entering into. The fact that you're present right now tells me you're already entering into this process. So let yourself enter it. And once you do, yes, sometimes you'll feel fear. Sometimes you'll feel alone. Sometimes you'll feel misunderstood. Sometimes you'll feel thrown away by the people who you love the most. You'll feel very isolated. Go through the process. Believe in your ability. Remember, my live streams are recorded on YouTube. Go watch those. They'll give you messages and encouragement for specifically what you're going through when you're going through it. It doesn't have to be the most recent. Whatever you're drawn to, it doesn't matter if it's 3-4 years ago. If your soul brings you to that video, watch it, because whatever you're unsure about, unclear about, it's the clarity's in that video. I promise you. It might not be the whole video, but it's in that video. There's something in there that your soul will use to empower you. And that's how people get through their process. You get through that process. You don't have to be completely done with it, but you get through the first part where the fear is crippling you. And then you continue forward. You know what you'll find? Your worth. You will find your self-worth. It was never tied to a session. It was never tied to someone on social media who's somehow elevated because they use all the fancy words. It was never tied to any of that. It was always tied to the way you see yourself, the way you see how you are unworthy of the very things, the abundance, the support, the money, the love, whatever it is that your soul is trying to bring you. It's been trying to give it to you. But you keep convincing yourself what was custom created for you is not rightfully yours. I don't think soul makes mistakes in that way. I don't think soul makes mistakes in that way. I think you become very distorted in the way you see yourself because of how people in your environment have bullied you into a space of compliance and conformity. I trigger a lot of people. Why? Because I'm just me. True story. I trigger a lot of people by being me. How can that trigger people? Well, when people are full of shit, and there's a lot of people full of shit. They're very ego driven. They create content to get external validation. And if the content they created, which they probably Googled somewhere, is then contradicted unknowingly by me, and I'm speaking truth, I'm speaking in such a way where people are like, holy shit, this makes sense. That's why that didn't resonate with me. The people who created that content, oh, they're fucking offended. They're offended by my existence. That's not my fucking problem. It's not. That's not my fucking problem. That's not your problem either. What you need to do, what you need to work on is your acceptance of yourself. You refuse to surrender to the very process that's helping you to understand just how valuable you are, just how strong you are. Why? Why? Because someone outside of you didn't give you permission to? Babe, they were never going to give you permission. Because to give you permission is to release you beyond the confines of what they can control, what they can dominate. That's why I trigger these people. They take a look at me. They won't befriend me. Why? Because they know I'm the type of empath you cannot control. You cannot dominate me. I just won't comply. That's what offends them. They see that I'm formidable. Do I think I'm formidable? Not really. I kind of feel delicate, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but I do have one hell of a survival instinct and I'll fight back. So that's, to me, that's what I got going for me. I want to survive. That's about it, you know? But it doesn't matter how you see yourself because people will see you in the way their insecurities present to you. They won't give you permission. You want to hear the most powerful part? You never needed their permission. You never needed their permission. Hope. Now, until you get to a point where you begin to really accept the process that you're in, hope might be a good bridge for you to use to walk across that fear, that river of fear. It's an endless flow of fear that we all have. Excuse me, myself included. It doesn't mean you're weak. I mean, just the part of you that's human. So if you have a lot of fear, you're going to need to start to come to terms with doing it while you're afraid. Because remember, courage is not your ability to be devoid of fear. Courage is what you give yourself permission to do in the face of that fear. Many things in life I've done while afraid. And the type of growth and depth of self-acceptance, acceptance of my purpose and my capacity has been as profound as the intensity of my fear. I spoke earlier in this video about my brother entering into heart failure. This is not something that's secret. That was in 2020. He entered into stage D heart failure. He had 7%, single digit, 7% ejection fraction rate. He was given 3 days to 3 weeks to live. I did not believe in my capacity. I did not believe in my ability and the intensity of the gifts that I've been given by God. For people who are like, Emmy is anti-God. Who the fuck do you think made me? You're so silly. God made me itself. I was designed to exist in this way by God. I am living proof of divinity. You think a simple ass human can override the pleroma and the ion? Oh God, you're okay. If you say so. So I needed to understand my gravity. And it's only recently that I've really allowed myself to take ownership of the truth of what I do. He was dying in 2020. 3 days to 3 weeks to live. It is now 2025. I reversed his heart failure. This is all medically documented. X-ray, CT, full blood work, EKG, ECG, everything. No evidence of heart failure. And this was done as they were preparing him for LVAD surgery, meaning he is about to die. Left ventricle assist device is a surgery used for people who are at the very end of their life. They're trying to keep these people alive long enough to hopefully receive a heart transplant. You can never undo an LVAD surgery. You will either Have that until you get a transplant, which is rare, or you will die with it within 5 years. Days before the LVAD, they were in the process of scheduling it. We were able to reverse some things. Yeah. It was only a few days prior, they checked his heart. He had a blood clot in the left ventricle the size of a quarter. That day was magically gone. No, it was not ejected. To eject a quarter-sized clot is catastrophic. That's life-ending. It was magically dissolved. In addition to that, because the clot was magically gone, they were able to do cardioversion. He went from 7% ejection fraction rate, jumped all the way up to 40-something within seconds. Seconds. And then we didn't realize for months until there was another situation, and it wasn't something with his health. It was a difficult circumstance he was in, and he went to the ER just to be sure because he was feeling a lot of anxiety. He wanted to make sure his heart was okay. And you know, it's crazy because he got there and it wasn't a local hospital. It wasn't. He got there and the doctor, the ER doctor, was basically accusing him of faking heart failure in order to secure a room for the night, which it's like, he's there for a multi-million-dollar event for his client. What the fuck are you talking about? He has a hotel room. He was transported from his hotel room to the ER, right? And he was livid, and I was like, wait, what? They're saying you're faking heart failure? That means no heart failure is registering on their tests. And that's how we found out that he was no longer in heart failure. You can't experience that degree of heart regeneration. That's not normal. But I'm not normal. He's not normal. This is me just being me. This is me being the sister that I am to him. This is him being the brother that he is to me. He believes in me and trusts in me at a depth that is not really common. He made me his medical power of attorney. He gave me full reign over his treatment, which I did not overstep any boundaries. Still his decision. I'm simply enforcing what he decides, right? So it's this thing of, again, evidence that just being you, how you are as you are, it brings in a type of abundance that is messianic in intensity. Do you know the word messianic? I don't know if a lot of people know that word. It's Messiah level. I'm not a Messiah. Hey, whoa. I am not a Messiah. But that's a Messiah level miraculous healing. Michael says, say it. I don't want to. Even at a fraction of my true capacity, it's only a fraction. I'm capable of messianic healing for some people. I mean, if I'm able to help and they're willing to allow, I'll help. I'm not a Messiah at all. Got a potty mouth. Create balance between the worlds that you exist in. Your internal world and your external world, it needs to be balanced at this point. You need to allow what needs to happen. Okay? You're in control. You've always been in control. But just because you're in control does not mean you can dictate the way this will unfold. If you can temper your expectations with the reality of what you are experiencing, it can be a very beautiful experience. It can be a very, very, very beautiful experience. And it can be something that can empower you in ways where you don't feel so destroyed as you become empowered. This abundance is coming in. However it is, you choose to see the process you're in is what's going to calibrate what you become abundant in. If you're going to see this process as negative, you will become abundant in negativity. That is the reality of it. If you choose to see this abundance as a positive thing, an empowering thing, a stabilizing thing, that's what you'll become abundant in. Your personal power, your command over yourself and your journey. You can't command others. That's just not, other people might allow you to, but you're not actually in control of them. They're allowing it. And that's not something to try and make as your goal. You can command yourself. You can dictate how the experience will go, meaning even if it's a difficult experience, it will not be experienced in a difficult way because you're choosing to allow it to either be neutral or somewhat in the positive, while still being aware that this is a challenging circumstance, right? Your abundance is yours to do with as you wish. If you want to throw it away, you're absolutely free to. I don't know why you would throw it away, because you need that in order to develop in the way that you need to develop so that you can fulfill all of the promises you made on a soul level. You don't want to be a liar, do you? Because if you're going to continue to kind of push all of this away and pretend that you don't need it, someone else needs it, then you can't really fulfill the things you promised you would fulfill. And if you're going to go back on a promise, that kind of makes you a liar. Unfortunately, that's how I see things. It's rare for me to promise something, but when I promise, I don't care what's happening. I'm fulfilling that promise. I'm fulfilling that promise. I don't care what I need to go through. I'm fulfilling that promise. I don't promise on just anything. It has to carry with it a specific components before I promise something. But my kids know, everyone who knows me know, if I promise something, there is no way I'm not fulfilling that. Your soul has promised you to have in excess of the things you need. So allow it. You're not taking from anyone else because this was never intended for anyone else. It's what you need to become who you are, or more of who you are, so that you can fulfill what needs to be fulfilled. Okay. Really quick, I'm sorry, guys, I didn't go live last night. I was getting exhausted. I will go live on Sunday, though. I'm going to be doing expedites. If you need me to work on you, energy work, etheric, quantum medicine work, scans, all sorts of different things, this is a good time really to have your energetic field kind of tuned up, because we're entering into a space of extreme potential. So if we work on all those different things, it's my hope that you'll be able to have a higher likelihood of bringing to fruition the good things in life, rather than simply giving permission and allowing for the yucky to come forward. That sucks. You got to stop doing that. So I'm going to get going. I hope you guys were able to receive some type of message from your soul in this video. If you're not already following me across all social media, I'm Emmy Evolving across the board. Make sure you follow me so you can find me again. If you follow me, this is super important for all of you guys to hear. That doesn't make you a follower. I don't have followers. I have a community. Following me simply means you are identifying yourself as a member of my community. That's it. That's it. We're all here shoulder to shoulder. You're not here to walk behind me. I'm not here to be placed on a pedestal. Your rightful place is beside me, shoulder to shoulder with me, just like everyone else. Take all your power back and do something beautiful with it. Maybe first and foremost, you can finally love yourself. That would be beautiful. That would be very beautiful. That would make everything worth it. Everything you've been through, leading to you loving yourself, that would be worth it. And then that would open you up to exploring more of your purpose, your power, and your path. And then you become an even greater gift to everyone you come across. That's how we change the world, by inviting people to join us in a space of true authenticity, true self-love, self-acceptance, true community, not that fake shit, not the I'm your leader type shit. No. No one has to lead anyone. We just have to come together so we can realize we've always had the courage to move beyond the life we've experienced thus far. So, love you guys.